Welcome to the podcast Soulful Thoughts from Ireland. My name, Meghan Don. My work, writing, mentoring and mystic teaching, bringing the wisdom of old into our present reality. Today, we are venturing into the wisdom of Irish sayings. The ancient Irish language is the language of the soul. And through this, Ireland has given birth to poets, writers, and what we could call wisdom keepers. There are many wonderful and soulful Irish sayings, yet some of them are becoming lost in time, as the older folk fall back into the soil of their origins, taking their poetic and earthly rhythmic language with them. There are a handful of people, however, dedicating themselves to the continuation of the wisdom way through these soulful words and language. The saying I want to offer today is, "Under the shelter of each other, people survive." Under the shelter of each other, people survive. Shelter has been an often used word here in Ireland. As with all ancient languages, there are many colours and subtleties of meaning according to the context. Shelter has meant a place of welcome where humans could take refuge in times of political danger, or in an abandoned hut when it is raining. It can refer to an outbuilding protecting the animals from predators or inclement weather, or the grand oak who provides shelter from the sun. There is often an association with the rhythm of the earth and the way she elementally nourishes herself and us through rain or sun and wind, and especially in those times of plenitude. Or, as the wonderful Irish writer Niall Williams says, "Coming like a blessing, God has forgotten he had left on." What does the word shelter invoke within us today? Can we feel into the word, not as an anachronism from a world past, but what can its wisdom teach us about our lives now? Take a moment to breathe into and feel the essence of shelter in your body. Just breathing into that sense of shelter. And to be open to see what feelings arise around that. What is rising in your body? And breathe in to those feelings. Where do you feel sheltered in your life? Or where is shelter absent? And do we know what it means to be under the shelter of each other? Under the shelter of each other, people survive. Our modern society, with its emphasis on individualism and monetary gain, has removed us from this necessary means of survival in the greater context. Perhaps now our shelter has been confined to our personal home, providing refuge from the rigors of the world. Perceived as a place of safety, and where you are known without your formal public face or persona. Inviting a stranger into your home, which is a time-honored Irish tradition of hospitality, has now become an action of danger for many in our world. The shelter offered would be met now with suspicion or fear. And the one whose heart would normally offer the shelter has closed their door to the one standing on the outside. Or we may choose to find psychological shelter with a counselor. Having lost our way with safe or sheltered conversation with our loved ones. Perhaps we have all sheltered our hearts too much. What is fascinating with this saying is that the literal translation means people live in each other's shadows. People live in each other's shadows. And isn't that what we are doing today? Living in the collective and personal shadow of our lives. And how are we to survive in these times? By finding shelter under and with each other. And perhaps the times ahead of us are going to demand that sheltering with each other in a deeper and more essential and meaningful way. I also have been pondering, what rhythms of the earth are we being invited to take shelter under? Can we accept the blessings of creation, even when they have been forgotten, they have been left on? Can we weather the storms courageously? And can we come together under the shelter together? The shelter of each other's hearts, the shelter of each other's wisdom, the shelter of each other's laughter and joy, the shelter of each other's kindness. So many ways we can live under the shelter of each other. So may we all navigate our way forward wisely and truly come to know what it means to be under the shelter of each other. So I leave you with that beautiful saying, and may we take it in deeply and see how it may rise in our families, in our communities, in our work. How may we walk in awareness of this? So I invite you to visit me on meghandawn.life to see offerings coming up for Ireland Earth Meditations. You can also read about my book, Feminine Courage, and upcoming events. Or you may wish to join the list for a pilgrimage to Ireland either as a group or as a solo retreat. And please do join me for the next podcast on the wisdom of the well. I wish you all safe shelter for your heart, mind, and body. Slán.